What if I told you that right now, deep beneath one of the most iconic mountain ranges on Earth, thousands of workers are carving a tunnel so massive it will shatter world records and reshape how an entire continent moves? The Alps have stood as a natural wall between France and Italy for millennia, but today, humanity is drilling straight through them with extraordinary precision and determination. This is the story of the Mont Cenis Base Tunnel, a 57.5-kilometer engineering marvel that will become the longest single-rail tunnel ever built, surpassing even the celebrated Gotthard Base Tunnel in Switzerland. It is a project of almost unimaginable scale, ambition, and complexity, one that pushes the boundaries of what modern engineering can achieve. And it all starts with a problem that has frustrated two great nations for generations: the Great Wall between two giants. France and Italy are two of the largest economies in Europe, neighbors, trading partners, and fellow members of the European Union. Yet despite sharing a border and centuries of cultural exchange, moving people and goods between them remains surprisingly difficult and inefficient. The reason: the mighty Alps stand in the way, turning what should be a simple journey into a costly, time-consuming challenge for millions of people every year. Today, a staggering 92% of all freight between Italy and France travels by truck, crawling over mountain roads that were never designed for modern-scale logistics. The existing railway, built in the 1800s, winds through steep slopes and sharp curves, making it painfully slow and increasingly unreliable. In 2023, a single landslide shut it down entirely for 18 long months, crippling trade and travel alike. Clearly something had to change, and change dramatically. The vision: a railway reborn. Engineers and governments on both sides of the Alps had a bold answer: build an entirely new railway, not over the mountains but through them. The Mont Cenis Base Tunnel is the centerpiece of a 270-kilometer high-speed line connecting Lyon in France to Turin in Italy, a route that will cut travel time from nearly 4 hours down to just 1 hour and 47 minutes, making it one of the most dramatic journey time reductions in European rail history. But the impact goes far beyond speed. Once complete, this project is projected to remove 1 million heavy trucks from Alpine roads every single year, slashing carbon emissions by approximately 1 million tons of CO annually, the equivalent of what 400,000 homes produce in 12 months. Freight trains on the new line will carry up to 2,000 tons per journey, nearly 3 times the current capacity. This isn't just infrastructure, it's climate action, economic transformation, and continental unity, all carved in concrete and rock. Drill, blast, and build. The old meets the new. Building a tunnel this ambitious requires not one construction method, but several working in concert. Near the French entrance, the geology is fractured and deeply unstable layers of shattered rock that no modern machine can simply bore through without risking catastrophic collapse. Here engineers turn to one of the oldest tricks in the tunneler's handbook: drill and blast. Teams drill precise patterns of holes into the rock face, pack them with carefully calculated charges of explosives, and with a controlled detonation carve their way forward, meter by meter. After each blast, steel ribs are installed in shotcrete. A high-strength sprayed concrete mixture is applied to stabilize the walls before workers advance again. It is raw, dramatic, and deeply physical work that demands skill, experience, and immense courage. And it is just the beginning of a far more complex construction story unfolding beneath these ancient peaks. The giant's underground tunnel boring machines for the longer stretches of the tunnel. Brute force blasting gives way to something far more sophisticated and OINS. 7 tunnel boring machines, TBMs, will operate simultaneously beneath the Alps, each one a self-contained underground factory capable of excavating, lining, and stabilizing the tunnel in a single continuous process. The first, named Viviana, launched in September 2025 and is currently carving a 9-kilometer section of the route between Saint-Martin-la-Porte and La Prosse. Viviana is a marvel of engineering, 10.4 meters in diameter, weighing 2,000 tons, and equipped with 61 hardened steel cutters that grind relentlessly through solid rock. Behind the cutting head, an automated system installs precast concrete segments to 100,000 segments in total, each 50 centimeters thick and reinforced with steel rebar, forming the tunnel lining ring by ring as the machine advances. 15 specialists operate Viviana around the clock in carefully coordinated shifts. Every day she pushes forward, she brings two great countries a little closer together: the cathedral and the hidden geology. Halfway along the base tunnel, roughly equidistant between France and Italy, construction teams encountered something that stopped even seasoned engineers in their tracks. Enormous underground caverns, up to 22 meters high and 23 meters wide, were blasted into existence to serve as assembly halls for the largest TBMs. Workers nicknamed one of them the Cathedral, and stepping inside that vast, echoing space deep under a mountain, it is profoundly easy to understand why that name stuck. Yet beneath the ore lies a serious and ever-present technical challenge. The tunnel passes through 80 distinct geological zones, from soft alluvial deposits near the French entrance to some of the oldest gneiss rock in the Western Alps, formed nearly 500 million years ago. No geological survey, however advanced, can fully predict what lies ahead in every meter of mountain. That is precisely why teams spent years drilling exploratory tunnels, first mapping the mountain's deepest secrets before committing billions of euros and thousands of lives to the main route. Controversy, cost, and the human cost of progress. No megaproject of this scale escapes controversy, and the Mont Cenis Base Tunnel is no exception. The project carries an estimated price tag of €25 billion, roughly $29 billion, with nearly half funded by the European Union. The rest is split between France and Italy, with Italy contributing a larger share due to the significantly greater complexity of its terrain, tougher access routes, and more demanding geological conditions on its side of the border. Beyond the financial debate, local communities have raised powerful and deeply felt objections. In 2023, over 3,000 protesters gathered in the valley, expressing grave concern about environmental damage to one of Europe's most pristine and beloved Alpine landscapes. They argue that an existing railway already connects the two cities, making this project an unnecessary and destructive intrusion. Supporters counter firmly that the new line is dramatically faster, far safer from recurring landslide risk, capable of carrying vastly more freight, and absolutely critical to Europe's long-term sustainability and economic integration goals. It is a debate that reflects a universal and deeply human tension, the relentless drive for progress set against the irreplaceable value of preservation. The future runs deep. In July 2025, France, Italy, and the European Union signed a landmark joint agreement confirming the project's final schedule and securing EU funding for every segment of the new railway for the very first time. The Mont Cenis Base Tunnel is expected to be fully commissioned by the end of 2033. When it opens, 22 long-distance rail services will run daily, up from just 6 today, and the entire Mediterranean corridor of the Trans-European transport network will finally have its missing link restored. This tunnel is more than a feat of construction. It is a statement about what human beings can achieve when they refuse to accept that a mountain is immovable. Deep beneath the Alps, thousands of dedicated workers are not just building a railway, they are stitching Europe together, one concrete ring at a time, 1 meter of mountain at a time. And when the first high-speed train races silently through in 2033, the Alps will never feel quite as wide again. If this story left you in awe of what humanity can build, you are in exactly the right place. Subscribe to the World Documentaries and hit that notification bell so you never miss a journey like this one. Drop a comment below. Would you take the train through this tunnel on opening day? What do you think about building through one of Europe's most beautiful landscapes? We genuinely want to hear your thoughts and experiences. Share this documentary with someone who loves extraordinary stories of human ambition, and we will see you on the next great adventure.